Hello. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Guess what I just did? I did troubleshooting on my mic before I went live. So I'm going to be really surprised if you can't hear me because I feel really prepared today. Um, Hattie's here. Hattie, why don't you get in your bed? Hi, everyone. Is that Melisha? Is Melisha here? Trisha's here, Mina's here, audio's great. Hi everyone. So look at my new setup today, guys. We have a cutting table. I'm ready to do some serious teaching, demonstrating. No more silliness, no more preening, no more messing around, looking at hats. No, this is a serious sewing show, everyone. I know, it's very professional. So I hope you're ready, my students, because we're going to do a live demonstration today. Just a little pretty. You guys, I won't stop. Guys, I can't stop, won't stop preening. So you guys are ready? All right. So yeah, it's a little weird. It's weird because you guys are out there, like my laptop is here. You guys can see my whole laptop. I've got my table. But I want to preen. But yeah, it's good. We're just trying things, right? I mean, that's what this is all about, is trying things. Oh, I gotta fix something. So let's see. I'm wearing don't worry, I got it. I'm wearing a night and day dress with the square collar. And this is the one I was telling you guys that I'm going to show you that it's so easy segment on. So so you'll be seeing that soon. This is the night and day dress. Melicia's here. So this has the yoke skirt. This was one of my fabrics for Spotlight a couple seasons ago. But yeah, I'm wearing a Merry Widow. I know we have to talk a lot about my underwear. I'm wearing a Merry Widow. And this one still has the like garters on it, and one of them kind of flipped up, but they're just kind of hanging there because I'm not wearing stockings. Oh no. Yeah. And so I'm wearing these little, like, have you guys seen these snippets? They're like these little like ladies boxer shorts, kind of. They're like silky drawers, my silky drawers. And you can like, they're called snippets because you can cut them like as short as you want. They have like 3 levels of lace trim, and you can cut it like at the bottom of any lace trim that you want. So you can do short, medium, or long silky drawers. So I'm wearing those with my Merry Widow. I don't know why I'm telling you guys all this. Probably just because I was just like rummaging under my skirt. Hi everyone, how are we doing today? So this is your favorite collar? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I like it a lot. The only thing, it does flip up a lot when you like bend over, and then you kind of have to go like this, but you could tack it down if you wanted to. Underwear talk. All right, everyone. So, oh, Hattie had to go. Is everyone having a good day? All right, let's just get right into the demo, and then we can, we can chat. It's your birthday in an hour, Angelica. Happy birthday. So they're called draws. All right. So what I thought we would do today is talk about using tissue paper to not trace. Guys, I gotta get it together if I'm gonna be a serious sewing teacher. Tissue paper to cut slippery fabrics. I've been thinking about this a lot because I had to do some lining of things, and I have champagne taste when it comes to lining fabric. So I used this beautiful red silk crepe de chine, which can be a little tricky to cut just because it kind of like, it's like air, it just kind of like floats away when you try to cut it, and it slips, and it just can be a little tricky. And the other one I was using, I think, can be even a little more difficult, and that is silk charmeuse. So you can see silk charmeuse is like shiny on one side, and then it has like a matte side on the back. Okay, so both lovely fabrics. This one is super slippery because of that shininess. It just kind of like slips away from you as you're trying to cut. And I think we talked about this yesterday. It's like, especially when doing something like lining a bodice, like a Lamore bodice or something like that, even like an eighth of an inch off, and it really can affect the fit of your dress. So that's why I wanted to talk about something that you can do to stabilize your fabric to make it easier to cut. And that is using tissue paper. And oh, the other kind of fabric I wanted to mention too is rayon challis or even wool challis. Look at this pretty fabric, guys. I've had this in my stash for a couple years. I was thinking about making a Rita blouse with this. Isn't it pretty? Rayon challis can be a real jerk to cut too because it just kind of moves around a lot. So this would be something that I might cut with the tissue too. All right. And I think I've kind of like shied away from telling you guys too much about this kind of tissue because for some reason I thought it wasn't very accessible for like just any home sewer to get, because I remember buying this and I don't know why, but I thought I spent a couple of $100s on this roll. I might have been thinking of some oak tag that I bought. But anyway, I went to look up the price today because I was writing some instructions for next month's Patreon. And I looked up the price, and this was only $50 for this huge roll. And I've had this for 7 years now, and I've barely gone through much of it. So this is probably going to last me the rest of my life. I'm going to have it with me. And it's made specifically for fashion purposes. It's called high yield tissue paper. And it's very toothy. You know, that's one of my favorite words. It's very toothy, has a lot of grip to it. I bought it from South Star Supply. Okay, South Star Supply. About this paper. Buffering. Uh-oh, no video feed. Uh-oh. Okay, what's going on? It's back? I'm back. Oh, good. We're back. All right, great. You lost me at the store name. Okay, so yeah, you guys refresh if you are still having issues. Okay, and I'm just gonna go back a little because I do want to like keep this on YouTube for people to watch as a serious sewing tutorial. Okay, so if you're having problems, refresh. All right, so we're talking about the source for the paper, which is South Star Supply. Okay, South Star Supply. All right, that's where I got this. Gosh, I feel like you missed a lot then. All right, so you don't have to use this tissue. Did you guys hear me say that? You could use like gift wrap tissue and just lay a layer out on your cutting table. But this is nice, the professional stuff, because it's very toothy. You guys are still having problems. Okay, I might need to come back. Let's see, still blurry. Toothy, it's okay. You see me perfect. Okay. Guys, please refresh if you're having any issues. Okay. Let's try this again. Oh, my first serious live feed. And look what happened. Looks good. All right. Toothy means that it has a little bit of grip to it. All right. So it'll kind of hang on to your fabric. We're good. All right. The paper. The paper is from South Star Supply. Okay. So let me just repeat myself one more time, guys. So if you don't want to buy this special paper, because it's actually really heavy too. I don't know how much it was to ship. if you don't want to use this special paper, you can use, like, people are saying, well, Swedish tracing paper is pretty expensive, so I don't know if I would use that, but like gift wrap tissue paper, medical supply paper, that kind of thing. So, because remember, you're going to need as much yardage as you are cutting. And yes, it is available online. You wanted me to keep repeating the store name? South Star Supply, everyone. And it's pink. It's pink. So, guys, wait a computer. I feel like I was thrown off by all the buffering issues. All right, I'm coming back. I got this. All right, so, okay, I remember what I wanted to say. The great thing about this is you can get it in different widths. And I bought the 45-inch width specifically because most silks like this are 45 inches wide. So it's going to match the width of your fabric exactly, which is nice because there is one thing that you can do, which is like basically make a sandwich with your tissue paper, and the tissue paper will match your fabric exactly. Okay, so you might buy it just because it's pink. So let me just do like a quick little demo on how that would work. All right, so I'm going to roll out just a little bit. Let's just say we're going to do like a yard. Okay, so I'm going to cut it. Just right here. Ooh, okay. So, and the other thing that people ask me a lot about with this paper is cutting it, and doesn't it dull your scissors and all that. So I did just use my paper scissors to cut it with, but when we go to cut the fabric, we're going to have to use our cutting shears. And I just like to remind people, I know that we all love the memes about how we're going to like divorce our husband if he uses our fabric shears on paper. But the thing is, sometimes you have to, okay? The thing is, you don't want to like unnecessarily use fabric shears on any kind of paper, all right? But if the choice is between being able to cut out silk charmeuse perfectly accurately and not cutting paper, I'm going to go with the accurate cutting. And the other thing that I want you guys to remember is that you can have your scissors sharpened and you should have them sharpened once a year at least. Okay, so anyone who does kitchen knives and all that, they can sharpen your scissors for you. All right, so this is considered a for the greater good necessary use of fabric shears on a type of paper. All right, okay, all right. Hi, Susie. All right, everyone. So let's just like take a look. Okay, so one way that you can do this is to just put out a layer of the tissue paper on your cutting surface like this. And actually, hold on just a second, guys. I need to talk amongst yourselves. I need to get like a piece of a pattern. This is perfect. I have the perfect thing handy. All right. So let's just say this is a lining piece from the princess coat. Okay, so we'll use this just as an example. Okay, so one way you can do this is to do a complete sandwiching of your fabric into the tissue paper, and this is the most stable way to do this. All right, so you would fold your fabric just like you would normally lay it out to cut a double layer. And then, I'm a little sniffly today, guys. Okay, and then you would fold the tissue paper on top. Now, the one kind of tricky thing about this is that then you have like a little fold here that it's really hard to like get it very precise because you can't see the fold anymore, right? So I used to like really get crazy about trying to get the fold perfect under there. And then I kind of learned that it doesn't like the sandwiching doesn't really help that much more. Maybe if I were doing chiffon, the sandwiching would be perfect because chiffon is like the biggest jerk of all fabrics. And it really helps to have a double layer. So you would then put your pattern piece on top of your double layer. Oh, I realize I've got like a big sun spot right here. But you guys see what I'm doing, right? I've got my pattern piece and I'm putting it on top of my double layer like that. Okay. So, but what I found is it's not really that necessary. And you get just as much stability if you have a single layer. So I would just take this pattern piece. I would still measure my grain line as usual, right? This is where my second camera would come in handy. All right, so I pin my pattern piece down through all the layers. Okay, so I'm pinning through the tissue and through the fabric. And then I would take my fabric shears and cut around the pattern piece. And it just makes it so easy to cut through all the layers, and you get such a nice, accurate cut here. Okay, so GoPro on my head. So that's really all there is to it, guys. It's really just the most important thing is to have a full flat layer of tissue paper under your fabric. Lay out your fabric as you normally would, and see how it grips onto it, and now it's not like moving around. Isn't that cool? So, I mean, that's the serious sewing demo for today. And you can see even with the charmeuse, if I put this down, it really grips onto it. Whereas if I had it on the table right here, see the difference? See the difference? I feel like I'm on an infomercial now. See the difference? So for only $50, you can get that whole row. And it just makes cutting these slippery fabrics so much easier. Hattie's alarmed. Did I alarm you, Hattie? I'm sorry. So it just like really grips on here. All right. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah. So let's see, GoPro on my head. Yeah, jerk of all fabrics. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of it. Do I reuse the paper at all? I mean, one cool thing about cutting the paper now is that you will now have an exact copy of your pattern piece. So if I feel like I'm going to need a copy of my pattern piece to do anything with, you okay, Hattie? I'll hold on to that tissue piece and then just relabel it, transfer any marks from the main pattern piece, and then you have a copy of your pattern. So you don't have to throw it away. That's something you could do with it, is use it as a new fresh copy of your pattern. So that's nice. And yeah, you can definitely use the paper to trace patterns on. It's a little more like if I'm using, I generally use pattern making paper. And actually, I think I have a whole roll of that over here too, guys, if you want to see that. Talk amongst yourselves. Where is it? I don't have it. Sorry, guys. I thought I brought it from the studio. Huh, that's weird. I'll have to go back for that. So yeah, so pattern making paper is more opaque, a little more opaque, and is more stable. You can see that this stuff tears pretty easily, and pattern making paper is just a little bit stronger. So, but you certainly can use it for tracing. Yeah, there's lots of different pattern making papers out there. how can I explain how to use that pattern making paper? I mean, I really just use it to either trace or to draft with. There's usually a grid that's like an inch grid, so it can help you align any right angles and stuff like that. And have, you know, and it's nice, you'll have like a sense of measurements by looking at the inch grid on there. All right, everyone. Yeah. It cut out again. So I don't know what my buffering issue is. I'm on Ethernet, so it should be fine. You lost me at the pause. All right. All right, guys. And because I also want to get a little more comfortable. So I'll be right back in just like a few minutes, okay? So just like chill out, don't go anywhere, and I'll be back.